I'm Jerry Ford and welcome to my studio. It's Thursday night, it's time to learn something. What are we going to do tonight? Tonight we're going to make these cute little coin purses, and they're done entirely in the hoop, or almost entirely in the hoop, and they open up from both sides. If you would like a copy of the PES embroidery file on the written instructions that are in PDF format, then send me an email request to waltzquilt@yahoo.com. WALTZQUILT@yahoo.com, and I'll be happy to send you the instructions as well as answer any questions or comments that you have. Okay, let's get started. For this project, you're going to need to have an embroidery hoop that'll accommodate the design, which is going to be at least either a 9 by 9 inch or a 6 by 10 or large. It's got to be bigger than 9 inches by 9 inches. The design itself is about 4 inches by 8.5 inches or so. But you're going to need some kind of stabilizer. I'm just using a tearaway stabilizer, but any stabilizer that you have on handy will be fine. Okay, so you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric, 6 inches by 10 inches, contrasting or the same, whichever one's the inside and the outside. You're going to need a piece of fusible fleece or any kind of, or just plain old fleece or felt, or even a thin piece of cotton batting will do. You're going to need embroidery thread, of course normal. These are the colors I've chosen. I'm going to do a letter, so I'm going to select black right here. You need about a 2-inch piece of ribbon if you're going to put a jump ring or turn it into a keychain. And then of course a jump ring will help. You're going to need plastic cam snaps. I'm going to use black. You're going to need 2 sets of those, and of course the setter that you need to put the snaps on. You're going to need a pair of sharp embroidery scissors with sharp all the way to the tip. I like the curved ones because it makes it easier to trim. And of course a pair of regular sewing scissors and a regular sewing machine if you want to do edge stitching, which I'm planning to do. Okay, and of course you're going to need your design on a jump stick to put into your embroidery machine. Remember, you can get a copy of the written instructions as well as the PES embroidery file by sending me a email request to waltzquilt@yahoo.com. Okay, let's go to the machine. Okay, I've loaded the design into the machine. It's called Coin Purse, and here it is. And it is 8.69 inches high by 3.04 inches wide. So it'll comfortably fit in a 6 by 10 frame. Okay, I've decided that I want to add an initial to this. So I have my design in here. So we have to do a little bit of finagling around as we try to get to this initial. But you could just leave it plain. You don't have to put anything else in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, where I'm touching right here, hitting add. Go back. I want to add an initial, and I think I will put just this plain one here. I'm going to put a G for my first name, and I'm going to hit set because I can make changes to this later. It's too big. Okay, so I am going to edit size, and there is a red box. It's hard to see, but there's a red box around the G, and I'm just going to use this scaling down key to make it a little smaller. Don't want it that big. Maybe. Okay, and I am also going to want to rotate this about 45 degrees to one side. 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, or 315 degrees as this says, and I'm going to use my arrow keys to move it sort of in the center of this bottom triangle. A little bit this way. Okay, and I've got it centered like I like it. But I'm going to, looks a little funny at 45 degrees. Okay, I think that's probably good enough, and that'll put, if you're going to add a letter, this is going to be the front of the, or front or back, whichever, of your coin purse. So therefore the opening is right here where the snap will go. So I'm going to actually move, let me move it up a little bit. Right there, sort of centered on that bottom triangle, but angled down this way towards the point of the coin purse. Okay, we're ready to stitch. So I'm going all the way to embroidery, and now the machine is ready. Okay, now I'm at the machine and I have just hooped my stabilizer and nothing else. This first color stop is going to be the placement stitch for the fusible fleece. Okay, this second color stop is to tack down the fleece. You could, and here we go. I'm just floating it on the top. Okay, at this point I'm going to take the hoop off of the machine, but I'm not going to take the fabric out of the hoop, and I'm going to trim all of this batting out of here. This is where you need to have a sharp pair of scissors, and you want to go fairly close. So this is the easier cut on a flat surface than it is in midair. So I need this sharp pair of scissors. I'm going to cut all the way around. As close to the stitching as you can get. And you also are going to want to snip inside of these two parallel lines right here. As you can see, there's these parallel lines here, here, and here, and you're going to need to cut as close to these lines as you can. If you don't take them out, then what's going to happen is your wallet is going to be difficult to close, because you'll have that bulk where it needs to fold. Okay, so now this is all cut out. It does help to have these curved scissors so that you can lay them flat. It really did help getting inside these little corners and these little trenches, and it also helped to pull the fabric up to get a little closer to the line. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just needed to have it cut out here so that it would make it easier to close the sections of the wallet. Okay, let's go back to the machine, because the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put on the fabric onto the face of my design like that. Okay? Okay, this is color stop number 3, and what I've done is I've floated my front fabric on here. I'm changing to green thread because this next one is not only going to tack down this cover, the front cover, it's also going to stipple it to the background. And I'm going to speed this up because this is a little on the slow side. Okay, color stop number 3 did the stippling and it tacked down the top. I'm wanting to put an initial into here, and remember I added that, so that I need to skip forward to do the letter or whatever motif you decided if you want to put one in here. So I'm going to go to the plus and minus key, and I'm going to advance it 1 whole color stop. So now I see the letter is getting put in there, and so now I'm going to change to black thread and I'm going to sew the G. Okay, I put black on black thread in the machine and I'm going to stitch the G. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. I've decided to do it in black. Okay, stitch the G. I'm going to want to add a key ring. So I've got this about 2-inch piece of, it's actually 3-inch piece of ribbon. I'm going to put it where their triangles are, where an intersection of a triangle is. So there's a line that goes straight across here, and that's where I'm going to put this. So I'm going to put, actually 3 inches would be easier to deal with, because you put 1 tape on the inside, 1 little piece of tape on the outside. Now here is where you are going to float your cover fabric on top of this stitching. Right here. Put your fabric right sides together. Okay, now we're ready for this last stitch. But we have to go back to editing. Okay. We want to come back to this plus and minus key. Let me show you right here, the plus and minus key. I want to go, well, now it went back to 0, so I'm going to want to advance or go back. There's my G, which is the last thing. I want that stitch right there, just before it. Okay, and so now I'll leave the black thread on here. Okay, and it will stitch the last stitch. Okay, we are now all done. We can now take the hoop off the machine and take the fabric out of the hoop. Okay, now I'm going to trim this. Of course, I'm going to trim those corners as close as I can, about 1/8 of an inch away. Now when it gets to this side over here, I'm just going to go out a little bit so it's a little longer seam allowance than 1. Okay, I'll come back and fix that. Get some of this. And that can be used for later. And now I'm going to turn this right sides out. If you wanted this to be a little stiffer, then if you want this to be a little firmer, you can also fuse a layer of heavy interfacing such as Decobond to this side, as well as you could put another one on this side too. Depends on how firm you want your coin purse to be. the original design I did put more interfacing than this, but it was very difficult to turn, and I didn't really see where it added that much. So I am turning this. There we go. Take that out. All right, and I need a turner. Yeah. You want to use a point turner in order to turn these corners rather sharply. Okay, and then here's the ribbon for the jump ring. Okay, and now I'm going to press this rather sharply. Okay. Fold this inside. I could hand stitch this opening closed. There's a couple of things you could do. You could take some fusible and just fuse it closed. Get that. Oh, here, let me get the rest of this. Good steam. Okay, I have already pressed it, and I'm going to just follow that stitch through. I've got my needle set in left needle position, and I'm just going to follow the lines. Over one. There. You don't have to do this step. I just think it looks a little more finished. And see, I am just, if you can see the black line, and I probably wouldn't use black, but okay, I've done all the triangles. And I am going to just lift the needle and switch this over to right needle position, all the way to the right. And I'm just going to use the edge of the foot and just go all the way around. And this is going to seal the opening closed, so I don't have to bother with hand stitching. I would say you don't have to do this. One more stitch. There. And I will back tack it and cut. Okay, we are ready to put the snap cams on. Okay, we're all finished with the sewing, so all we need to do is put on the snap cams and the D-ring, or the little split ring, and we'll be done. Okay, so what you need is you're going to need, on the snap cams, you need 4 with the spikes. They have a little, let's see if we can pack in little spikes, and I call them 2 innies and 2 outies. So I'm going to start with this one here. So this is going to be the outside. So I'm going to put this right here. So I'm going to just center this. I'll just do it with my eyeball here. And the little kit that you get has a awl. So you make a nice, decent hole. Put the spike through it. Squish it down, and I'm going to put the outies. Where's my outies? Here's the outie on here. And you just, the black part here goes on the smooth, and then this one goes right there. And you just give it a good squeeze, and I don't have squeeze, so I will later on take this downstairs and give it to my husband to make it stay. And then I'm going to put another one on this side, same thing, center it here. Make a nice hole. Put the spiky part through here. I didn't get it. There. And the other outie here. Okay. Okay. So how this goes together is this folds in half. This folds down here. So then I'm going to get my little friction marker and mark where I need the hole to go for the other side. And same thing here. So I fold this down, put this on top, and mark. Alright, so now I need to open this back up, and where's the hole here? Okay. Now on this other side, the big black discs go on the inside. And an innie goes on top here. And again, I'm going to center that there. Here's the other mark I made. I think they're pretty good. Okay, so this goes like this. There. How cute is that? Oh, and put the jump ring on. We're not cooperating here. There we go. The awl works actually really well. Okay, I just needed something to open up the ring, and just slip in the ribbon, and there you have it. Your coin purse is done, and it's ready for that quarter for the grocery cart at Aldi's. Actually, I like this one, and isn't that cute? Turned out really well. Okay, that's it for tonight. If you have any questions, please leave your question in the comments below. And also, you can always send me an email at waltzquilt@yahoo.com, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. So until next Thursday night, I will see you. Thank you for watching. Bye.